Coming
What's
in
up,
a little
everybody?
quiet. Try again.
What's up, everybody?
Reactor
I've been trying to
online.
get this recorded.
Sensors online. Weapons online.
This is Phoenix Hawk 1 with a
All
3
systems
light AC2s.
nominal.
I had another 1,000 damage game just earlier today, and then I forgot. But I forgot to record it. I've had 2 so far. Essentially, if I don't get cornered, or worst case scenario of people like, where are we going? Let's see how well these people know the game. Got a few who don't. Some. You spawn on the opposite side of the map than this. You want to head to the C3 line, or the 3 line. It's the best place.
Attention, Spectre 29. Please all tap back in. The match is underway. Ah, thank you.
It's weird. I started recording. Here I am
Waited
back
so
with this
long,
guy.
I forgot.
I don't blame you. It happens.
Essentially, if I'm free to deal damage on this build, its DPS is insane. Its DPS and range is insane.
We find anybody yet?
Not yet, and there's a chance they're all coming down the 7 line because we're in assault mode.
If they're bad
Yeah,
at the
I
game,
think they're on the other side of the map.
Well, if they know what they're doing, they'll be in the 3 line, but that's okay. It's okay. I don't care. We can do whatever we
Heads
want.
up reminder to the team, we're in assault mode, which means we have a base to defend and an enemy base to take, and if it happens that we can down only 11 of the enemy, knock off the arms and one leg of the last one and leave them stranded, unable to really fight, and we can cap out the enemy base, there is a bonus waiting for us worth more than 4 killing blows in value, and it does come with match score and XP. Good if you're trying to do the current free mech event.
Yeah, looks like he's right. They're
They're
definitely
probably
not over
down
here.
to 6 or 7 line.
That's what I said a couple moments ago.
Well, I was just responding to somebody that was
Target
looking.
acquired.
Got Alpha, followed up by, yeah, Alpha and Bravo. How about that?
I like DV, the guy that we see here. He comes off as a little
Looks like they
condescending,
finally came speaking for us.
but he's all right.
Pretty close, though.
Really want to give up cover. So the reason this works is the Phoenix Hawk PXH-1 has a 30% cooldown. Nice try,
Roger,
Chief.
tag lock Delta.
Which puts the I really need to get over here and not get shot in the back. Okay, it's because it has a sub half second fire rate. Not gonna be able to weave my shots through there. Also, I want to pay attention to that side.
Target spotted.
We're committing too much, but I need to start farming damage, otherwise I'm gonna have low DPS here.
And they're all in Echo 6 now, looks like.
Enemy rumor found base.
They're all there! They're upset with me.
Crap.
I put a UAV on them. I move up first.
Damn it. I'm a little rusty. I'm not leading my target
Come on.
properly. Okay.
Artillery strike online.
Interesting flank.
New target
Target
acquired.
Spot that bull shark. Make sure people know that people are over there. I'm gonna try to Slip
Put the
this.
missiles on Alpha.
Also, Team Golf, Team Crab, recommend you wreck 'em.
Damn it. I didn't mean to do that.
Hotel is charging there, right around the corner, Marauder.
I didn't want our Annihilator to die down there, so I needed to commit.
Incoming on us, Hotel King Crab. Repeat, Hotel King Crab.
Nice.
Delta, Warhammer, Warhammer.
Target acquired. New target acquired.
Alright, well,
Echo Warhammer. Repeat, Echo Warhammer.
Target acquired.
Target spotted.
Got another King Crab here.
Target destroyed.
Golf.
I don't want to abandon this guy. I would help him, but I don't want to abandon our Annihilator.
Target destroyed.
Ah,
It's
nice.
literally just like that. Okay? What you need
I
to
agree.
understand.
Good job,
Thanks
team.
for waking, and thanks for waking me up.
GG,
You're welcome,
everybody.
Spectre. Enjoy the victory, everyone.
I slammed that dude in the back, the Annihilator, a couple of times because you really can't see your close range target or close range teammates.
Yes, but not where we expected, Battle Rocket.
We'll get out of here. So 524, not bad. Lots of assists. That's what you want to see. In any good match, you want to see a lot of assists. Let me give you the priority system for playing Mechwarrior Online. Priority number 1 is your assists. You need to be attacking targets that other people are attacking. Priority 2 is your damage done. Priority 3 is your match score. And priority 4, the last thing on the list, is kills. Okay? The reason is, I mean, you saw that I could have got lots of kills because I was in the right position at the right time. Honestly, in this game, if you have rapid firing weapons, you're probably going to get kills, and it had almost nothing to do with what you did. Okay, so if you want to get something that is going to give you valuable input on how well you're doing, then you want to look at kills most damage dealt or solo kills. But all of those fall to the wayside of attacking the same targets as your friends. Okay, tactics. The only 2 tactics in this game, in any game mode, okay, is Murder Ball or Zerg, depending on what you're familiar with. I was familiar with Zerg. I learned Murder Ball from this game. And Focused Aggression. Focused Aggression is measured by assists. Like I said, in that match, I wanted to go help the other dude, but I just couldn't abandon our Annihilator. I needed to not abandon our Annihilator and just help him deal the damage that he needs to do. Most builds in this game are designed to require more than what you're capable of outputting to defeat a target. Okay? That's just the way it is. That's how they help balance the game. Okay? So you have an Annihilator standing there, and you have someone like me who's doing just 6, or well, it's actually 12 DPS, but we'll get into that. Who's doing 6 damage over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. Now imagine that you took a full build Annihilator and you gave him an extra weapon that did 6 damage every 0.5 seconds. that would be OP. And you would be like, dude, that's not okay. This is OP. We need it balanced. That's what you're doing. So when you're in a medium mech, you need to understand that medium mechs are there to do that role. If you want to do the most damage in the match, then go play an assault mech. If you want to run around and be all speedy and all that kind of stuff, be a light mech. Mediums and heavies are both designed to be a little grab bag of everything. That's why heavies kind of feel like they suck most of the time, like cataphracts and stuff like that. They don't feel very good. Medium mechs have the same thing. They don't feel very good because you don't get those dopamine hits. What you need to do is you need to just understand that that's what you're built to do. Medium and heavy mechs are supposed to have a decent amount of maneuverability, a decent amount of armor, and a decent amount of damage. They're not supposed to do crazy amounts of damage and have a ton of armor because that's the job of an assault. You see? So just keep that in mind. But remember one thing, and that is murder ball, focused aggression. Okay? Focused aggression is measured by assists. The more assists you have, the better you've done. If you're one of those people who goes in and might get 2 or 3 or 4 kills, but you only have 2 or 3 or 4 assists, you're not doing good enough. Okay? It's just all there is to it. You need to be more focused on helping the people around you. In my case, I got a ton of assists, even though all I was really doing was engaging the same targets as that Annihilator. Okay, when other shots became opportunistic, when I could see them and I was like, okay, let's do that. That's when I was getting those extra assists. Because you do. People say, oh, don't spread your damage. No, you want to spread your damage. You want to damage everything. Okay? That's just how it is. Be opportunistic with your targets, but focus fire down things that you see other people are already targeting. Ensure the fact that that kill will happen. It doesn't matter if you get it. The only thing that matters is if they die, all right? If that enemy falls. There, that's enough of that tangent. Let's actually talk about the build. So, it is as simple as this, okay? 3 light AC2s, nothing fancy. Ferrofibrous, double heat sinks, and endo steel. And you put as much ammo on here as you can, and 2 double heat sinks. You might be sitting there going, well, Azar, why don't you take off a couple things of ammo? You didn't even use that much. Why don't you just take a couple things off of the ammo and put on some, like medium lasers or something? Because you're wasting heat. A medium laser does 5 damage. Let's say I took off 3 tons of ammo, right? So that I could put on 3 medium lasers. All right, that's 15 damage and then a cooldown. Okay? 15 damage is done in 3, more than 15 damage is done in 3 shots with the light AC2s. And those 3 shots took 1.5 seconds. Okay? Because when we look at our light AC2, you see that we have a 0.75 cooldown minus 0.315. So we're actually sitting at like a 0.44, 0.3, 0.3334, whatever. You know what I mean. It's sub 0.5. That's all that matters. So we're firing this thing every half second. We're getting 2 of them out there every second. Boom, 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 boom. That's what's going on. So what we're actually looking at is, if you're hitting all your shots, of course, we're looking at a 12 DPS setup, which is a very high DPS setup. Okay? The thing is you can't achieve this amount of DPS with the range, with a 1320 max range and a 660 optimal range. Okay? So what this does is this keeps you from wasting heat on lasers, because you don't need them. They're already not going to... If you just keep firing, you're going to do way more damage than those lasers could have ever helped you with. Okay? You just keep firing. That's all. And it focuses you down into one playstyle that has great range, good DPS, There you go. That's it. So you just stack as much ammo as you can on this, so you're never worried that you're going to run out of ammo. You're not picking and choosing your shots. You see targets and you just keep firing. Just keep firing and firing and firing and firing and firing. What is that, like 500 shots we got? Because there's 3 of these and I have like 1,500 ammo. All right. Try this out. Get used to it, and you will notice how ridiculous this gets. When it's bad, but it doesn't matter because it was bad. Everybody died, and you didn't get a chance to deal your damage. So, well, would that really have made any difference if you were in, like an assault build? No. You would have died anyway, and it would have been bad. The amount of benefit that this can bring to a team when you use it properly is phenomenal. Okay, like I said, I've broken 1,000 damage multiple times. Ooh, I almost skipped it. Hold on. So you have 2 damage, right, on each one of these light AC2s. All right, and let's take a look at the bottom of the tooltip that I'm showing you right here where it says light AC2. And we look at the drop-off. Since we only deal 2 damage with this, even all the way out there at like 1,100 meters, we've only dropped to like 1 damage. Okay? So you're like, oh, well, it's only doing 1 damage. That means it's only 3. Wrong, because we fire twice a second. That means at long range, you have an equivalent build to someone who you are doing more damage than someone who has a fully stacked dual X-Pulse laser build. Okay? And you're dishing it out faster than that X-Pulse laser build can. Okay? This is what everybody's been doing with assaults, where they stack on LBXs to go ahead and just spam a bunch of LBX2s. You could do the exact same thing with the light AC2. In the medium mech, you're not going to beat this Phoenix Hawk, and that's because of its ballistic cooldown. Okay? That extra 30% plus another 12 from the tree, you are chilling at a 42% reduction to the cooldown on these things. That's why it does what it does. All right. So you just can't beat it. So what does that allow us to do? Since we're totally focused into this, there's a bunch of stuff we just don't need in the tree. Heat gen is pointless. You probably don't need heat containment too, but it's in here just because, whatever, man. Why? Why not? I put everything into kinetic burst, hard break, anchor turn, and torso speed so that I can also engage light targets. I'm very maneuverable in this build. If you don't know, speed tweaks really aren't that good. Okay? They're not that good. Okay? So it was those 5 points that were able to go and stay in velocity. All right? What we're running is cooldown, range, velocity, magazine capacity, and then our 2 in survival. And then we're running 6 points into, what is that, 7 points? Yeah, it's 7 points into kinetic burst and hard break. By the way, these 2 in conjunction, without the speed tweaks, well, with or without the speed tweaks, is incredible. It will completely change the way your mech feels, okay? And it will make them far better at dodging incoming shots, and make you much harder to hit. These 2 things are game changers. We've got the anchor turn, and then we've got 4 points into torso speed, cool run, heat containment, and advanced zoom, and that's it. Okay? That is literally it. You don't need anything else. All you're going to do is just keep firing, and the moment somebody looks at you, change positions. All you have to do is hit your shots. That's it. And you could see, what did I do, like 500 and some damage? You could see I didn't hit all my shots, and I still did 500 and some damage. There's a lot of people in this game who will ignore you because they're like, oh, that's not very much damage. You hit me like 4 times, that's not very much damage. And so they keep trying to engage other targets, and that is their downfall. Because you need to remember, within range, that's 5 shots. 5 shots, they come out every half a second. See? 5 shots, and then you do, that's 30 damage. So it's like some of the mid-range alpha strikes of some of the lighter mechs that normally have. And you just did that in a very short period of time, and you have way superior range to them. Okay? It's a really, really, really good build. You just need to understand that you're a Phoenix Hawk, so your armor is like paper. You need to not be engaging straight combat, but you also need to understand when you need to commit. And who decides when you need to commit? That's whoever you're helping. This build makes you an invaluable team member. Okay? Like if I had known I was going to be in there, in Bear Claw, I would have had a UAV instead of my artillery strike. But yet again, that doesn't matter because you just thump, 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 thump every half second. Okay? Try it out and you're going to be surprised. Until you get used to it, it's going to feel really weak. And then when you get used to it, you're going to go, whoa, okay. And when you get those matches where you get free terrain to just keep slamming people, one of the matches that I did over 1,000 damage with this was on Frozen City Nights. And then I did 935, I believe, in Viridian Bog. But also I lost half of my mech in there. I barely survived. You know, it is what it is. But that's what you need to do. You're a medium mech. You want to share some of your armor because you have more than other people. You have enough to go ahead and share some, and you don't want to leave your team. You want to help them get those targets down so that they take less damage. Okay? You might be tempted to do stuff like add AMS or something like that. It's really not that useful, and also AMS gives you away. You don't want people looking at you. But every build on a Phoenix Hawk, you don't want people looking at you. That's why the flying Phoenix Hawk and stuff are kind of pointless. That's why you don't see me use jump jets on Phoenix Hawks. You don't want people looking at you. And if you're flying through the air, they're going to look at you. Okay? Anywho, it's been 22 minutes. You know, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. So I'm just going to say it one more time. Okay? Well, okay, try this out. You're going to like it. You are. It's just Dakka, and it's constant Dakka. So it's good. But the final thing I want to say is that simple thing to remember, okay? Always stick with your team. Murder ball wins everything. The only thing that defeats a murder ball is a better murder ball. Okay? Focused aggression is measured by assists. You always want to be shooting targets that other people are shooting. If you're not, then you need to go ahead and ask yourself, did I do something wrong, or is somebody else doing something wrong? Most of the time it's your fault. You got tunnel visioned or something like that, you know, you were like, oh, I really want this kill, and so you keep shooting this guy. You really just need to look at the target you're fighting and see other fire coming in. It is more important in this game to know what your team is doing than the enemy team. Okay? Focused aggression. Murder ball. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Oh yeah, why do I feel like I can tell people how to play the game? It's because for the first time ever, I'm actually working my way towards Tier 3. I was hard-locked Tier 5 forever. And what I mean by hard-locked is every time I would enter Tier 4, I would immediately get slammed all the way back down into Tier 5. These are the reasons that I've been able to actually climb. It has just a very small amount to do with occasionally when I'm having fun, I will actually talk to people in this game. Like occasionally, very rarely. At most, you might hear me say GG. at the end of a game. But if I'm having a lot of fun and I'm feeling the game, then you might hear me make call outs, you know. We got dudes coming in from, you know, they're gonna flank us from T5 or blah blah blah, you know. But most of the time I'm not. So I'm just in here, I'm farming C-bills, you know, and I'm just like, whatever, I'm just kicking back and playing the game. It has everything to do with understanding that fundamental. Attack targets that other people are attacking. If you're attacking something that you're the only one attacking, rethink your strategy. You have stuff like the E command where you can command, you know, helps and spotting and all that kind of jazz. You can do that. If you see a guy that's over there, take a couple pot shots while you're falling back into cover so that you can deal some damage and not take any damage in return. And then go find something that everybody's shooting at. And as long as lots of people, or hopefully everyone, keeps that same concept, you have a fantastically running murder ball. Thanks. Peace.